As you can tell by that intro sequence, that amazing intro sequence, we're going to be reviewing Danganronpa. At the beginning of this game, we start off with an introduction. Our character's name is Makoto Naegi, and we've been invited to the top school around, Hope's Peak Academy. This school usually consists of all these ultimate students who excel at this one specific part of their life, but not us. I mean, we're considered the ultimate lucky student, somebody who was picked at random to attend this school as an ordinary student. Once we enter this school, we find out that we arrive an hour early. So we go to go look around a little bit. Oh my god, what the hell? We go to look around a little bit and we end up passing out, waking up in an empty classroom by ourselves. We then end up running into the other 14 students who are going to be attending Hope's Peak Academy with us. In the order that we meet them, we have Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation, Hifumi Yamada, the ultimate fanfic creator, Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star, Toko Fukawa, the ultimate writing prodigy, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, the ultimate moral compass, Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro, Chihiro Fujisaki, the ultimate programmer, Kiyoko Kirigiri, the ultimate Junko Enoshima, the ultimate fashionista, Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader, Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist, Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny, Yasuhiro Hagakure, the ultimate clairvoyant, and last but not least, Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler. As you could probably all tell, my favorite's going to be Celeste. That's her nickname, Celestia Ludenberg, for multiple reasons, of course. After introductions, we find out everybody ended up passing out too, and it's this insane thing. Nobody knows why they passed out. We get prompted to head to the gym by the headmaster, where we meet him, Monokuma, this devilish bear. He tells us that the only way we can leave this school is by filling out the graduation clause, which is defined in the game as murdering another student and getting away with it. Mono then decides that we're a little bitch and he just wants to knock us out. Where we then awake in our room. After looking around a little bit, we attempt to leave and we bump into Sayaka, who said she was going to come get us so we can go into the dining hall. Once we're there, she then tells us that we used to go to high school together. It's called Blackroot Junior High. This information is entirely useless. I just thought it would be a fun thing to throw in. Eventually, everybody else ends up flooding into the dining hall and they just go over a bunch of clues, but it's really irrelevant. Nothing is new from what it makes us look at in the beginning of the game, so yeah, we're just going to skip over it. We end up going to sleep, and when we wake up, we go and head to Sayaka. We just go to talk to her, and she mentions that we need some sort of self defense weapon. This prompts us to head to the gym entrance where we find a golden katana, but Sayaka doesn't want it, so we end up keeping it. She then tells us about her dream, about how she got to her dream. She says that she will do anything to get there, just like I would do anything to be happy. We then enter free time. It prompts us to go and form relationships with people. So we just go back up to Sayaka, talk to her a little bit more. She ends up reminiscing about our time at school and how she actually started, noticing me. I do swear she was absolutely in love with me. She was head over heels, and she was gonna be on her all fours, following me all around because she starts trying to get me to talk about my love life as we talk about hers. Nothing really happens for the rest of the night, so we just decide to fast forward till the morning, where Kiyotaka surprises us at our door, just telling us that, hey, we're gonna have these early morning meetings from now on. It's gonna be in the dining hall as soon as 7 o'clock hits. Cool, whatever. Monokuma ends up showing up and he tells us that he has something specific for every single person, all 15 students, to give him a motive for murder. Because, he's just bored. He wishes he saw more. We end up finding what we were given as a motive. It ends up being this little CD disc, not a CD. It ended up being a DVD disc where we then insert it and we watch what's on the disc. It's our family. It's our happy little family congratulating us on getting into Hope Speak Academy. Little did we know, it takes a dark turn. The camera then cuts to a destroyed household. Ooh, shocking. No. Monokuma's behind the camera. He starts talking to us. He's like, oh, I wonder what actually happened to your sweet family, Makoto Naegi. And then tells us that we're going to find out in the next chapter. Or so it says. We find out after graduation, to be precise. We freak out. We are absolutely terrified. And all the other students come walking in to see what in the hell is going on. Once they see me absolutely freaked out, they go and get their own CDs. And everyone has the same reaction as me. They're all following the sheep. There's not a single wolf in sheepskin. No, we're all sheep. And it ends up showing everybody's individual worst fears. Sayaka in specific gets terrified and she bolts out of that classroom faster than Usain Bolt. She ends up running into a classroom where we have to go hunt her down, and she starts crying to us. And in our attempt to cheer her up, as she is our only friend, we promise her that we will protect her and do everything we can to get her out. After she cheers up a little bit, we end up heading back to the group. Going into nighttime, Sayaka ends up ringing a doorbell. She swears there's somebody trying to force their way into her door. And she's terrified. She brings up the beautiful and wise idea, hey, how about we swap rooms? How about we swap rooms? And we're, being the nice, nonchalant fellow we are, we say, yeah, sure, let's swap rooms. And then, yay. I did let her know about what's going on with my door, which I didn't mention it earlier, but my door doesn't open very easily. Going into her room, we sleep, everything's good. Wake up in the morning, we go back into the dining hall where everyone starts slowly trickling in, except Sayaka. We rush out of that dining hall to go check on her, where we're met with a gruesome scene. There's scratches all over the floor. Things overturned. Katana's on the floor. And in the bathroom, there she lies. Sayaka Maizono. Deceased. We couldn't stomach it. We felt beyond horrified at seeing her body just sitting there in our shower, nonetheless. We couldn't stomach it. We ended up passing out just to awake in the gym. Monokuma then explains the entire process of the graduation class, where we have to collectively vote on who the blackened is, or the murderer, and if the blackened is voted correctly, they will be punished as we continue living this permanent life inside the school. But if we vote incorrectly, everyone besides the blackened gets to leave. Wait, no. Everyone besides the blackened gets punished. And the punishments are always result in the deceasement of whoever is voted. If we vote wrong, the blackened walks away scot-free. They get to leave the school and live their life outside, while the rest of us don't continue on living. Junko then retaliates and gets pissed off at Monokuma. She tries to go throw a punch. Monokuma is upset. He's furious. And then he executes her in front of everyone, throwing metal spikes all throughout her body until she goes limp. Not even twitching anymore. As we go walk up to her, she's getting cold. Junko is deceased. Monokuma prompts us that we should start investigating, and this is where we get introduced to the investigative scene. We look around, my room to be precise. We look around everywhere to see what kind of scuffle was going on. We take note of all different types of the scratches, the sheets, everything nearby. We look at the door. We look in the closet. Well, not in the closet. We look in the bathroom. Face to face with Sayaka again. It's time we force ourselves to stay awake, to stay alive, to accept what has happened as we scramble around looking for her, looking at her. There's a knife lodged in her chest. There's something written in the wall behind her. There's gold on her hand. What could this all mean? After enough searching around, we get sent to the trial room, where all class trials will take place. This part, it takes at least an hour usually. In the trial room, we get introduced to nonstop debates. This is where characters will continuously go back and forth with no breathing time. It's a quick time event in this simplistic game. We are given truth bullets. These are the different pieces of evidence we collect during our investigate scene, you know. Some words in their sentence or phrases in their sentences will all light up with yellow, meaning we can shoot the truth bullet at that. But that doesn't mean it's always somewhere where we can. You have to shoot their contradictory statement. We're allowed to slow down time by holding space, allowing it so the bullets will actually hit it, as they do have travel time. After getting far enough within the trial, we get hit with the hangman's gambit. This scene makes it so we have to come up with a very specific phrase or word, usually word, that is key evidence for the scene of the crime. An example, going based off our first trial, is that our room was scrubbed entirely clean. There wasn't a single hair. That was the keyword, hair. There wasn't a single hair anywhere around my room. The last two parts of this trial, the closing argument and the bullet time battle. Closing argument is kind of like a comic page. It's missing a few key parts, which we then end up filling in based off the evidence we know has been collected to complete the storyline. The bullet time event, or the BTB, is the worst event ever. I hate this. It is a rhythm-based game, and I'm a white boy. I got some rhythm, but after you get a few correct beats, like in a row, it'll speed up. And it'll continuously speed up as you get more right. If you mess one up, it goes slower. It goes slower and slower. You have to adjust. But then, the opposer, person that you are having this bullet time battle with, they can cover your beats. You, especially if it says beat up, you won't know how much it's increased. For my playthrough, I didn't feel like I could get a certain amount that was it increased by. It was like it sometimes like felt like it was 1 BPM, sometimes it was 5, sometimes I think I felt 9. I hated it, and I've almost lost multiple times to that. Yet to lose though. But throughout this event, you have to use left click and right click. Right click to mark onto statements that your opposer is throwing at you, and left click to break them. After a certain amount of time, you can finish them off. It's, whatever. If you end up failing any of these tasks during the trial, any of the 4, your influence gauge will take damage, which is kind of just like your HP. When it hits 0, you fail, and you either have to restart the entire trial, or you'll get a bad ending where everybody else besides the blackened are punished. I don't know this though. I haven't failed. I haven't actually failed. I failed some things, but I didn't fail the entire trial. So, whatever. Once you decide who you're voting for, a score of all the scenes will take place, and it'll tell you like your overall score, like A, B, S, A, B, C, D, F, whatever. And you get Monokuma tokens for them, which are relevant for now, but they might be relevant later on. Whoever you accused, which it seems like it is forced to be the blackened, whenever you get that far, they end up going through punishment, which is a cool, absolutely phenomenal cutscene depicting their punishment, their execution. It depicts their execution, and they're generally really unique, all the way up to how their character is, either what they are good at or stuff that they want in the future. These are these are like the only good scenes within the entire game. But that's it. It's just a murder mystery game within a school that we must solve, or else everybody else will die. Before I do get into the ratings, I'm going to get a little bit personal. I do apologize to my friends who I have basically pushed away while I at least recorded all this footage. I barely ever played games with them. I actually feel bad because I had them voice over some. It was actually kind of funny. So I do apologize. I feel like I've needed this with the recent events that have led up to them. They'll know what it is. I feel like I needed something else to put my focus on, and this was that focus. So I apologize to Ganja, to Waffle, to Abstract, to Carolina, and even Bobby. Uh, I do feel like I've been able to overcome what I was trying to overcome, though. So maybe you guys will start seeing me playing more games. Ganja, I'm not hopping on Rivals, and you got lucky because I ended up installing Overwatch, and it's all right, but I'm not going to be playing it 24/7. I'm not going to be playing it that often, so you should just play Terraria instead. Going into the ratings, I'm going to try to keep these as consistent within this whole series. I know I haven't been the most, like you'll see between this one and the previous one, I haven't been super consistent, and I'm actually going to write out the ratings so I don't mess up when I'm actually making the video. We're going to start off with the atmosphere. This atmosphere actually leaves a decent uneasiness throughout the game, making it feel like we are trapped somewhere where we don't want to be. It just sucks because later on you're gonna just start, especially early in the beginning, you don't even realize that there's gonna be murder. Murder happens, boom. Now you're when's gonna happen next? But then there's such a long period of time where you can't forget that something happened, unless of course you go into the player cards and you'll see that some of them say deceased, but you'll forget about a lot of that, and then it pops in again, which depending on who you are, the atmosphere, that could make a good atmosphere or a bad atmosphere. I think that was a good atmosphere. I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. It didn't feel like it had that as much of that uneasiness throughout the game. I had one part where I guess we went to go spy on the girls in the bathroom. It was really weird. So that definitely wasn't uneasy and stuff. It sucks, but the progression is extremely slow for how this game is made. I have about 14 hours of footage, and I'm not even halfway through, and it annoys me. And you're constantly stuck in dialogue that you can't actually really seem to progress in the story because you're just talking to people. I give this a 4 out of 10. You go through 3 hours of this dialogue before the blackened even appears. So yeah, I think 4 out of 10 will suit this decently well. The music in this game also kind of feels like the progression. It seems like it's more background music, something that you won't absolutely hardcore jam to unless it is the trial music. The trial music is honestly really good. It's enjoyable, but that's it. And it's only like maybe 30 seconds of music, and then it goes back to the same old like really low quiet music. I just don't like it. I also just hate the entire sound thing overall because it destroyed my ears when I first played, and I wasn't able to turn it down until two and no, not even 2.5, like 3 hours in, whenever it prompted me, like, by the way, this is how you access the menu. Because it wasn't escape. No, no, no. It wasn't escape. Whatever. The storytelling in this game was pretty good, actually. Because of the slow nature of the progression, you were able to learn a lot more of the characters on a personal level. They all have their own backstory. Nobody seems to be like a side character, someone that you just wouldn't pay attention to. You can personally connect with every single character, and it just makes it that much harder to deal with when they pass. I will give it a 9 out of 10. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if we had more time to learn about the first three victims, which was Sayaka, Junko, and Leon. The gameplay is very, very simple. You have a 3D environment with 2D sprites, and it gives it like a nice little unique experience that people aren't always used to. Usually, you're used to just 2D platformers or just 3D. You don't oftentimes get a mix of both. It makes it so you have to, like, there's a bunch of mechanics and stuff and multiple buttons that will do the same thing. So you have to learn and remember when to do specific options. Like your truth bullets, you can have whenever you have multiple loaded up later on in the game. You have to choose the right one to fire, or you can use that truth bullet to take somebody else's statement and shoot it somewhere else. It's a lot, but I feel like in this category, the thing that brought it down the most was constant chats. They always feel so dragged on, and I almost got forced into a dialogue for 2 hours. It gets tiring. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The trial scenes specifically make the gameplay so much better. Without that, it would not be nearly as high. It would probably be a 4 out of 10 without that. So the final rating I'm giving it is a 33 out of 50. It's a decent game. I enjoyed it while I played it, but it's a lot longer than I personally feel like it should be. Oftentimes, I've found myself stuck recording until after the next trial, which is almost 4 hours each. I have a life. The game was definitely a lot more fun whenever I actually had some of my friends voicing over the characters. Nobody would kill a friend for money, right? Have you? Oh yeah, it's ended.
Have you so quickly forgotten the lesson from last time? Question mark. You can't by your own standard. Period.
Yeah, there might be someone here who's having money problems.
Okay, wait, shit. Personally, I've earned over $1 million from my gambling efforts. My life is comfortable.
I'm telling you.
Hey, Carolina's a gambler.
Yeah, no, like,
Yeah,
actually,
Ira.
her actual thing on here is called the Ultimate Gambler. That's literally why she's here, because she gambles a lot.
Dub.
I know. Hey, Fumi, what about you?
You know nothing.
I'm a super popular content creator. I don't have any problems making enough to buy my comics and DVDs.
That's literally awesome.
Then.
Hey.
Just stop. Pressing others about their personal finances is ugly.
Ugly.
And then.
Oh, don't worry, period. Either way, comma. Whatever's going to happen will happen without warning, period.
That's funny.
Again, Andon.
Oh, that is the nature of this game, period.
Period.
So, what happened in the general voice chat, text chat thing?
But I don't think it should go on as long as it is. Would I recommend this? That depends. if you have a bunch of free time, yeah, feel free. I feel like you'd actually really enjoy the game. But you can get every single ending, every single skill or journal, every single, oh my gosh, every ending, every skill or journal entry. You're putting easily 50 hours into the game just sitting through dialogue. You can skip a lot of dialogue. It doesn't like fast forward you till the next time that you need something. It'll just skip that person's dialogue, go on to the next time they have dialogue, whatever. It's not the best skip I've had. And I was skipping for the majority of my scenes, but I still was sitting there for 4 hours every recording. I personally don't think this game is suited for people who have jobs such as myself.